And this is an ABC 7 Rising Star Sports Special.
Honestly, everything that I went through, it has made me the person I am today.
I just keep on going. I don't want to quit.
I want others to know I play football and I'm tough.
I'm looking forward to the over 90 age group. I won't have as many competitors then.
Just telling them to keep battling, keep moving forward, and eventually you'll strive through it and get past it.
Yes, I'm an amputee. Yes, I have injuries, but if I want something, I go for it.
Welcome to this Rising Star Special. I'm Scott Abraham. This series is about people who have overcome some sort of adversity and succeeded in sports. These individuals are doing incredible things, and along the way, shine a little bit brighter than the rest. Football is one of the toughest sports out there. It takes a special person to go through the daily physical grind of pads and helmets clashing up against each other. W.T. Woodson High School has that special person, and he's making everybody a little bit better off the field. That strut, that smile says it all.
I think he's important to show them that football is bigger than just a game for them.
Set, go!
17-year-old Jack Gibson is a football player.
I get in the game a lot.
Born with Down syndrome, Jack has gravitated to sports.
It's just one season after another, and he sees them doing everything, and he wants to do everything everybody else is doing. Come on, Jack, run!
Track and field, swimming, and a proud member of the W.T. Woodson JV football team.
All right, do I have a Z, an H?
I want others to know I play football and I'm tough.
One thing you quickly learn about Jack: he is certainly not shy. He has a self-confidence that is contagious to the rest of his teammates. Jack might not be the star of his football team, but he is truly just one of the boys on the field.
He just gives us energy during practice and in the game. He's always just happy. He's jumping around and running around. He just wants to play.
Given his limitations, the junior is quite the athlete.
Go, Jack! Yeah, Jack. All right, Jack.
Jack is simply having the time of his life.
I feel happy and insane.
Earning the respect of his peers.
What? Okay!
With his unbridled enthusiasm for life. It is hard not to smile watching Jack out there on the field. He told me NASCAR is his favorite sport, and his favorite driver is Dale Earnhardt Jr. There's no greater honor than serving your country. A soldier severely hurt in Afghanistan is making a comeback through adaptive sports. Army Specialist Stephanie Morris is what you call a fighter.
I've always been competitive. Whether it was sports or anything else, I'm just a competitive person and I like competing.
In June 2013, Stephanie was severely injured in Afghanistan. The incident left 4 other members of her unit dead. The 27-year-old would eventually have her right leg amputated.
There was times I had thoughts like, I mean, what would have happened if I would have just been gone? Like, my life would have been a lot easier.
She now spends her days at Walter Reed embracing her new normal. Training in a variety of sports, competing in the Warrior and Invictus games.
Now that I have found adaptive sports, like you could, like as my mom would put it, you can just see me excited and smiled all over again.
During her recovery, Specialist Morris has utilized the Army's Warrior Care Transition Program. Over the last 10 years, this program has helped more than 75,000 wounded soldiers. Rehab, recover, and transition is what it's all about.
They may look at things from a pretty bleak position, but they're resilient, and we try to support them as best we can to get them back to the point where they can look at things and say, hey, I can do it.
Stephanie is taking that can-do attitude and trying to become a nurse and a Paralympic athlete.
Yes, I'm an amputee. Yes, I have injuries, but if I want something, I go for it.
Get out of the way. Stephanie Morris is heading to the top. Stephanie is one strong woman. Don't be surprised to see her in the Paralympic Games down the road. In 2009, the Capital Rowing Club here in D.C. started an adaptive rowing program. It's been a huge success. 3 days a week from the spring to the fall, individuals with disabilities, including Chuck Linderman, enjoy the benefits of being out there on the water. Chuck Linderman feels at home on the Anacostia River.
Being on the water when it's very quiet and still is almost a divine experience.
His path is straight. The water is calm. If only life was that simple.
I would fight this with all my strength and everything that I had.
The 70-year-old Alexandria resident has Parkinson's disease.
I had to work hard physically to keep this thing under control and to push back on it.
Full tilt boogie here. With the help of the adaptive program at the Capitol Rowing Club, Chuck is able to continue his passion for the sport.
What I've learned about myself is that I can do more than I have thought I could.
One thing you quickly learn about Chuck is tough. He refuses to allow Parkinson's disease to define him. His son Will, who's a big part of his development out there on the water, says his dad, well, he's still quite the competitor.
He thinks he can beat anybody. He does not care how long the race is. He will not pace himself. He is trying to win that race from the very first stroke.
Facing adversity head on while becoming an example for others.
I want people to take away from my story that anything is possible.
With every stroke, Chuck Linderman is proving just that. I love the fact that Chuck hates to lose. That will keep him going for many years to come. A Washington Spirit soccer player explains how she was able to fight back from injury to succeed on the field. Plus, how one teen's battle against leukemia inspired him to help other children in the same circumstance. Children helping children. That's what Kyle's camp is all about. Kyle Hani was diagnosed with leukemia nearly 7 years ago. Since then, he has raised more than $2 million for cancer research. That sweet sound, bat hitting ball.
The feeling when that ball is coming in and you know you're going to just make good contact and rip it to the outfield.
13-year-old Kyle Hani appreciates every day on the diamond.
When I was sick, I couldn't play, but I was just thinking, like, once I'm not sick, I can play baseball again.
At just 6 years old, the Chantilly native had a 3.5-year fight against leukemia. Kyle would beat the disease.
I think it certainly built him into a better person without defining him. Cancer hasn't defined him.
Children helping children. Kyle is turning his cancer fight into a positive, creating Kyle's Camp in 2011. It's an organization that has raised over $2 million for Children's National Medical Center. Let's just say this young man is paying it forward in a big way.
I never thought Kyle's Camp would come this far. It's just like a dream come true, sort of.
Using his experiences to now motivate children with cancer.
Just telling them to keep battling, keep moving forward, and eventually you'll strive through it and get past it.
Kyle Hani leaving a legacy much bigger than his success on the diamond. He is doing a lot of good for a lot of people in need. Professional soccer hasn't always been easy for Havana Salon. The Washington Spirit midfielder has dealt with plenty of adversity during her young career. One of her most difficult moments happened a couple of years ago when the sport she loved was taken away. A soccer journey on a roller coaster ride.
I don't know if I'll ever be back to the old Havana. I think I can be a new Havana.
Everything changed on this play in 2015 when Havana Salon was playing for Seattle.
The ball popped out and I so vividly remember hearing the cracks.
A spiral fracture of the ankle, 2 surgeries, 1-year recovery.
Salon scores!
Havana, though, is back scoring goals now with the Washington Spirit.
Battling back from an injury really tells us a lot about a player's mentality and their grit, and I think Havana fits into our team grit and our team culture.
Havana has that skill of adapting and adjusting to any situation. That stems from her childhood moving around to multiple countries. She has lived in Hong Kong and Singapore, visited over 20 different countries. The experience of several cultures has shaped Havana into the player and person she is today.
I think from a young age, just understanding different cultures made me so much more open-minded and tolerant to just everything. I think it's made me a very curious person because it's more from the standpoint of I want to understand.
Showing compassion for others.
Shot deflected and a goal!
While becoming an example to those going through a difficult time.
I think that you have to see obstacles as opportunities. You have to have that mindset of hope that it will get better.
Havana Salon, back where she belongs, playing the sport she loves. And Havana had a very good 2017 season with the Spirit. She scored 5 goals while dishing out 3 assists. Next, the story of an Arlington resident who is known as Tiger T. Chuck Toftoy has achieved and overcome more in his 82 years than most of us will ever experience in our lifetime. Living life one stride at a time.
They say, how old are you? I say, well, about 57, you know.
Close enough for 82-year-old Chuck Toftoy.
I like to win, but I'm a good loser. But I really like to win.
The Arlington resident has been stacking up the victories on the senior circuit in race walking.
It's just so natural. And you know, you're going like this, and it's just so cool.
Chuck is tough. An Army Ranger in Vietnam, he was wounded twice, beat prostate cancer in 1996, and also fought through open heart surgery.
That experience of all these different things we all go through gives you depth. And that depth you can apply to advancing yourself in whatever you want to do.
Competing on the track is just a fraction of Chuck's story. He was a professor at George Washington University for 17 years, and now he's a successful author of 4 different books. His last book, Amazing Fireside Talks, deals about inspiring others.
I told my editor that if that book helps one person, that it was worth all the research and the time writing.
Inspiring others with his words and drive on the track.
I'm looking forward to the over 90 age group. I won't have as many competitors then.
Father Time is no match for Chuck Toftoy. Chuck Toftoy really is something else. Tiger T leaving an impact on a lot of people.
Why was it me? Why was I the chosen one to go through this?
The diagnosis that nearly put a halt to this boy's tennis dominance and his return game. Plus the heartbreaking loss inspiring one football team to play for its angel in the end zone. That's just ahead. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary is just that little extra. You need the will, the desire to push through those darkest days. A tennis prodigy is back on the court after winning a much different fight. Nitin Ramachandran was a tennis prodigy climbing the rankings.
Top 30 in Mid-Atlantic for boys 14 and under, and top 15, top 10 for boys 12 and under.
That all changed in March 2014 when his doctors found a cancerous brain tumor.
Why was it me? Why was I the chosen one to go through this?
The Oakton High School sophomore began a battle much different than one on the tennis court. 9 months of chemo and radiation, Nitin took it head on, using his playing days as a catalyst.
The thought of me playing before treatment started on the tennis court and how I was playing at a pretty high level really motivated me to fight harder throughout my treatment.
Nitin has worked his way back to the tennis court, his endurance, his agility starting to come back. Without question, Nitin's journey has had a major impact on his life. So much so, he's hoping to pay it forward by getting into the medical field himself.
What I want to do when I grow up is something along the lines of medicine and giving back to the community of what they've done for me, and do things for kids like me who are going through the same thing that I went through.
Right now, Nitin might be a shadow of himself on the court, but that won't last for long. He's getting better every day.
I felt like if I could beat that one challenge that I've done before, this challenge on the tennis court is just another challenge for me to face, and I can do that too.
Taking it one step at a time, always remembering where it started. Let me tell you, Nitin would run circles around me on that court. He has a bright future ahead. You know that quote, tough times don't last, tough people do? That quote embodies Kenya Vasquez. The Marshall High School senior has had plenty of ups and downs in her life, but the softball field has become her sanctuary.
Life is full of curveballs.
Honestly, everything that I went through, it has made me the person I am today.
Sometimes you just need to take a bat and swing.
I feel like every day it's a new day, to like new opportunities.
Marshall High School senior Kenya Vasquez has been on life's roller coaster. 6 years ago, her mother was deported to Guatemala. Kenya hasn't seen her since. Her older brother, Joey, died from leukemia in 2014.
He's one of the reasons why I joined softball, and he's one of the reasons why I do everything I do. I know it would make him proud, and I know that he's proud of me now.
Life is much bigger than softball. This sign inside the Marshall dugout really says it all. Prepare, perform, prevail. Words that certainly hit home for Kenya Vasquez, who is leaving a lasting impact on her teammates and her head coach.
Knowing the challenges that she has and the fact that she can power through just makes me a better person and a better coach.
Today, Kenya has big dreams beyond the softball field. She's hoping to become a profiler for the FBI.
There's always another way, and there's always one, like when a door closes, there's another door opening.
Some advice everybody can use.
Kenya's early life experiences have shaped a remarkable young woman. An FBI profiler? Go for it, Kenya. You will get there. In any sport, but especially football, over time you become more than teammates. You become brothers. You become family. This season, a Prince George's County High School football team played for much more than those numbers on the scoreboard.
Another day of practice for the Gwynn Park football team.
Back, watch this back.
51, more than just a jersey number.
It just reminds me of Norman, like, man, Norman's here. I know he's here.
That number belonged to Norman White.
The biggest little guy that you will ever want to see. Small in stature, but big in heart.
We're missing one. The Yellow Jackets lost their heart in May when the junior offensive lineman died in a car crash.
Losing a friend, losing a teammate, it made us look at life real seriously now.
Even though Norman may not be physically on this field anymore, the team still feels his presence all the time. Every player wears a decal on the back of their helmet honoring their teammate, a constant reminder that they're playing for something much bigger than stats and wins.
You better believe it's an extra fire. It's a huge fire to the coaches as well as the players. Basically, they know what we're here for.
Every drill, every rep, Norman's smile never fades away.
I just feel like sometimes that extra push that gets us through is him.
I think for a little bit, and it's like, we gotta keep going.
For a teammate who will never be forgotten.
Norman's teammates told me they think about him every day. They refer to him as their angel in the end zone.
That's my motto. Don't ever give up, and just keep on going and trying to do the best that you can do.
How 65-year-old Jerry Yetter is pedaling past adversity after being hit by a car. And what motivates this man to add to his collection of gold medals? We'll tell you coming up. 1 minute he was enjoying the sport he loves. The next, he was on the ground in pain, wondering if he'd ever be able to cycle again. Here's Jerry Yetter's impressive comeback story.
I use this as motivation every day.
A simple sign to some, but not to Jerry Yetter.
I look at it all the time, and it's just, it just kind of keeps me in focus.
The 65-year-old Columbia resident has always had a passion for cycling.
When you're racing and you're going as fast as you can on your bike, it's just exhilarating.
That changed in April 2014 when Jerry was out for a ride. He was hit by a car, leaving his bike mangled and leaving Jerry unconscious with several injuries.
Well, I had 3 fractured vertebrae, lacerated spleen, my shoulder blade was in pieces. broken leg.
Since the accident, every day Jerry feels fortunate to be alive. As you can imagine, it took him some time to get comfortable again going out for a ride on the bike. But Jerry is back competing in the sport that he loves, the Maryland Senior Games, the National Senior Games. He's doing it all, refusing to let his past hold him back.
I'm in a great place. I don't think it could be better. I don't think it could be better. I feel wonderful.
With a competitive fire that isn't going away anytime soon.
That's my motto. Don't ever give up, and just keep on going and trying to do the best that you can do.
A grandfather setting the bar for his generation. Resilient and determined, Jerry won't be getting off that bike anytime soon. Muhammad Ali said champions are not made in gyms. Champions are made from something they have deep inside them, a desire, a dream, a vision. Nobody seems to embody that more than Kevin Boyd. A wheelchair can't slow down Kevin Boyd.
I just keep on going. I don't want to quit.
Kevin was born with an intellectual disability and a birth defect that limited his left leg. It quickly became his motivation.
It's fun to win the gold medals and stuff.
The 52-year-old DC native is a champion. He has participated in Special Olympics since 1983.
It's just good competition going against all the athletes, and I love it so much, and I don't want to give it up because I love Special Olympics.
You can call Kevin a Special Olympics superstar. He's basically done it all, competing in a variety of sports at the local, national, and even world Special Olympic Games. Kevin is special in his own way, and he has left an impact on just about everybody around him.
I cry when I'm happy, and I cry when I'm proud. And he gives me those too.
Kevin flashing that smile with no intentions of stopping anytime soon.
I don't know. I just want to keep on going until I get tired. If I get tired and want to quit, I can, but I'm not ready to hang it up yet.
Kevin Boyd ready to race toward his next finish line. Way to go, Kevin. And do you know a rising star in the D.C. area with an inspiring story about overcoming adversity and succeeding in sports? Email us at risingstar@wjla.com to nominate that person. Thanks for watching this Rising Star special. I'm Scott Abraham.